Why don't we just turn it over to Bert?
Yeah, that didn't take long. Bert, you got this, I'm sure.
I'm glad this happened during the commercial break. Yeah, the Chiefs are trading Tyreek Hill to the Dolphins for 2022 first round, second round, and fourth round picks, and fourth and sixth round picks in 2023. They'll also clear over the next few years about $70 million in cap space in trading him. So yeah, the deal's done. He's a Dolphin.
What a haul for a freaking receiver.
Almost your whole draft this year.
Holy crap.
All right, you want me to repeat it again?
Yeah.
You didn't hear it?
Yeah, I've got
All
it
right,
here.
so-
Just because you're on Zoom, it's probably better that we just do it here. It is, again, a 2022, this year's draft. They are giving up the Dolphins their first, second, and fourth round picks. They will also give up a fourth and a sixth in next year's draft. 5 draft picks for Tyreek Hill, including this year's first, second, and fourth. And those picks, because again, the Dolphins, you Dolphin fans, you didn't make the playoffs. They're decent picks. They're not terrible picks. They're not late round picks. They're good picks.
Wow, they got him and Waddle and Parker right now. Whew. Brady's somewhere punching walls in Tampa.
So, I mean, the Dolphins, because of the trade last year, with if you guys remember,
Dolphins had 3 first rounders,
Yeah, but so
with the Niners, they still have picks left. So this is sort of a result of that trade, the Trey Lance trade last year.
The first rounder they're giving up this year.
So their first rounder was originally the 49ers pick. Is that right?
It was, yeah. And then they traded, if you guys remember, they traded their own pick back up to get the, and if you guys give me 1 second, I'm going to update this. But yeah, that's the 49ers pick.
So the first
rounder,
rounder,
it's late 20s, right?
29.
Yeah.
The first rounder they're giving up this year is 29.
I take it back. Dolphins, but you still didn't make the playoffs. Ha! I'm grinding on that one today, Bert.
I don't know if I'd be on him too much.
But now, okay, let's do this now. An hour later, after not knowing that the Dolphins were going to pull off a trade today for Tyreek Hill, are the Dolphins now better than the Patriots?
Oof. I don't think so. I mean, here's the thing about the Dolphins. The Dolphins, I don't know that. I think they were really well coached for all the drama there was between Brian Flores and the front office.
There's respect.
That was a really well coached team last year. And I think the world of Mike McDaniel, I think Brian Flores left a high bar to clear there for the coaching staff, because I don't think that was an overly talented roster. I think it was an incredibly well coached team, though. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
so,
totally.
This adds to what they have. And dealing with Waddle and Hill is freaking terrifying, right?
No kidding. And Gesicki.
But they still have issues. And now they got their left tackle in Teron Armstead. So for the most part, the upshot of this for the Dolphins, you're going to know on Tua, right? After this year, you are going to know and what you have in Tua. That said, they still need a lot of things to come together for them on defense. And I mean, it's going to be guys like Jalen Phillips, who they drafted in the first round last year, guys like that really breaking out, like Holland, the safety they drafted last year. There's a bunch of guys that are young guys in that defense that I think Flores got a ton out of, right? B-Flow got a ton out of those guys. And I think the question is whether or not I think the question is whether or not they can maintain the level that they did from a coaching standpoint that they had last year. Because again, for all the drama that there was between Brian Flores and the front office, I thought Flores coached his balls off the last couple of years and getting that team where it was.
Yeah, he had the room and he didn't have the front office. Go ahead, Artie.
I would say this too, Beetle. If you're just talking, in comparison to the Patriots, there's not a ton of difference. If you're using making the playoffs as a big benchmark, there's not a big difference between a 9-8 team who misses the playoffs and a 10-7 team who gets shelled in their one playoff game.
Oh, I think it's a toss-up now.
Yeah.
They just added something that makes their offense far more functional.
It's a borderline toss-up before. I would take the Patriots in a squeaker, but now I got to give it to the Dolphins.
So I guess the question is this. If we rephrase it the way we did at the start, are they definitely better than the Dolphins? I don't think it's definitive anymore.
No.
I just go ahead, Bert.
Here's where I look at like I think it's really important that they get answers on Tua, because we've seen this, right? Like we see what's happening with Kyler now. Like it's really important that you have answers on your young quarterback after 3 years, because that's when he's eligible for a new contract, right? Like, so to me, if I'm the Dolphins, like the upshot of this, I'm going to have answers on Tua after this year. Like Tua's biggest strength is like when you can get him playing point guard and when he can dish the ball off to guys in stride who are running 100 miles an hour. That's what he had to Alabama. That's the way they played, like in their RPO game at Bama. And so now you give him Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, and you've given him, I mean, what, 2 of the 10 fastest players in the league, maybe, right? So you've got an offense now that plays to his strengths, a group that plays to his strengths around him. And like, I think the upshot of this for the Dolphins, again, is finding out on Tua whether or not he's worth continuing to build around. And for better or worse, you should have a really good answer on that after this year.
I just can't believe the movement of superstars in this league in this offseason. There's been nothing like it with the NFL. The movement in the NFL this year, quarterbacks, you got Devontae Adams, this guy, Von Miller to Buffalo to make them better, Chandler Jones. I mean, it's endless. Every day it's something.
So you know what it is, though? So look who won the Super Bowl, and look how they built, right?
Yep. Load up.
Like I think it's like you're always sort of imitating the teams that are
Allen
at
Robinson.
The top of the league.
Yeah. Super Bowl champ gives him $14 million.
New contract for Tyreek Hill, 4 years and $120. $30 million a year.
What?
For the next 4 years.
So now you see why the Chiefs are okay with trading him. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, you're going to Miami over New York. Tax rate in New York over Florida?
Oh, yeah, but what's to say New York didn't offer the same money? I mean, I know the tax part of it, but I don't know. I don't feel like players take into account the tax thing.
At that dollar, yes,
some do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Some do.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I could tell you, like, it was a factor. Like Deshaun Watson last year.
Yeah.
Like, when he was like sort of like locked in on being traded to the Dolphins, like I can tell you for a fact, like the state income tax situation in Florida was a factor for him because he'd had it in Texas over the first 4 years of his career.
Yeah. Well, isn't it that the taxes also apply for road games in the places
right? And that's the one thing about it that's sort of, isn't that kind of crappy? I don't know.
I remember we played in California. I used to get whacked. I had to do individual returns on certain games I played in California.
Yeah, so I mean, so it only impacts half your salary. Half your game checks are in your home state.
That's a lot, though. That's a lot.
Yeah, no, I know it is.
You're talking $60 million. Yeah. Yeah, if he sees 120 of it, $60 million is going to be.
I mean, like, so if you play for, say, like the Seahawks, right? Yeah. And then you're like playing the AFC West is like your crossover division. Like that means you're paying California taxes for what, 4 games, right? Or 3 games now the Raiders move, but 3 games, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get into an argument over tax law, but that's kind of crappy, I think. You know what I mean? Like,
it is.
Yeah. So, and I guarantee you there's some reason in there that benefits the owners. I don't know what it is, but I would guarantee you that it's structured that it works that way. In some way, it benefits the owners.
Man, so they had it ready to go to get Brady then and Peyton, and it's just the Flores thing really messed them up, whatever plan they had in place, because you could see Miami had the draft collateral and they got the money and they got the cap space to do these type of deals.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, like the owners, obviously, I think you can see the pressure from the owner to win and to try different things. And I remember hearing like when they hired Flo and they elevated Breer to GM or gave him like the power as the GM in 19, you always heard like he read like some book on the process, like the Sixers, right? Like what they'd done in Philly, and like he became fascinated with it. And so like this is like an owner who is very frustrated with the way like things have gone, his first, his 13, 14 years of ownership. And now is like willing to take like different swings. And he took the swing, like doing it like the Sixers way back like in 19. And now this feels like signing Teron Armstead and trading for Tyreek Hill within 24 hours of each other, and like making them both like, I mean, very, very wealthy people.
Yep.
I like, it feels to me like this is a swing in the other direction. Like, all right, we're ready to win now. We're going to operate like the Rams do.